I'm really interested in like architecture and design, and when I saw the tour at the El Capitan, I thought that it would be an interesting opportunity, so my mom got the tickets. And even when I saw you guys filming there, like, I didn't think that I would be in any way a part of it or that anything would happen. Like, I just assumed that the tour would keep going on and we'd continue with our day. But when you asked me, like, I was at first like really nervous, and I just didn't really know what to expect. And then, when you started talking to my mom and all the similar people that you guys know, is really interesting to see how small the world is. And so it's pretty crazy, and I definitely wouldn't have imagined anything like this would be happening because of that. I'm really happy and proud because he's touched so many people in so many different ways. But like every single person he's touched, he's made feel like he made them feel as if he was giving them all their attention and that they were the only person he was talking to in the world. And I really think he deserves it. And I'm really happy and glad that this is going on because, not a lot of stories like this are recognized, and there's so many hidden heroes around the world that do so many great things, and this is just one of so many, and I think that it deserves to be told, his story. Well, it's definitely a profound feeling to know that he touched so many lives and that so many people recognize all the things and benefits and small things that he's done to help and benefit others. And it makes me feel really proud to know that, that's my grandfather. And there's so, I remember just as a little kid, so many people stopping us wherever we went. And, when I was younger, I would never know that he did so many things in his life and touched so many different people in so many different areas, which is just crazy. In education and sports and in his community and all sorts. So it's a profound feeling when people come up to us and when they came up to him and acknowledge that he's touched them and so many other people. Well, when I was younger, and I spent the night at his house, he would get up and make waffles. He always made waffles, and he always had those little bear claw things from Costco, and we'd always have those. And we'd get dressed and he'd comb my hair because he always says you have to look decent. So we'd go out and go, walk around or go to the park or go to the store, and just normal activities that someone would do with their grandparent. But obviously, like, he knew everybody and everybody knew him. So, he would be stopped and people would say hello, and cars would pull over to say hi. And it was so weird because, until now, I really didn't realize the impact that he had on people. So to me as a little kid, it's just like, okay, well, maybe he is just popular. So, we'd go on doing daily activities, and we'd go home, and he'd always ask me how I was doing and talk about stuff, and he'd always make sure that I'm doing my best because he always says, do your best and your best will be good enough. And that's what I try to live by now because, he did his best, and obviously it was good enough because so many people have been touched by him and he's done so many great things. I miss his presence because he had such a strong presence wherever he went. And, the moment he walked into the room, he just commanded attention. But it's not like he was asking for it. So he was very cordial, and I miss being able to talk with him and just have someone to look up to. And I have role models, other role models in my family, but it's really, no one can really replace him because his presence and his persona was just amazing and so original and just great. The way that, the lessons that he taught me and how he always made me feel good, even if I was in an argument before and I went to go speak with him, even if he didn't agree with me, he always made me feel good in the end. And, I always learned something new from him. A lot of people say that he is a gentle giant, and which is very true because, he had huge hands and, he was a very big man in stature, but like he was so kind-hearted and like so positive, and like he just, you would never, like, if upon first looking at him you'd think this man is scary and intimidating, but it's exactly the opposite. And I definitely want to be like that, because now I'm like the same height as he was, and I definitely know, like, I've gotten looks where, oh, you know, like me being tall, people think I'm intimidating, but you know, I don't feel that I am. And so I definitely want to be like that, and that people, you know, when people saw him, you know, yes, they probably judged him on his height and his stature, but if right when he opened his mouth, all those barriers were put down, because they realized that, you know, his size and his stature did not match, I mean, his personality, and he was a great man in that sense, that he was so kind and gentle. I think it's important for people to know about my grandfather, because the many things that he's done that he was all great at, and the so many people that he affected. You know, it's one thing to do great things, but to have an effect on people, a positive effect on people, you can't just, that just doesn't come with doing great things. And I think that's what he achieved. So with all the great things he's done, I think need to be recognized, and how he's changed the game for so many people in positive ways. You know, being the first to break down some, you know, barriers. And you know, obviously it's hard to do. It's not something easy to do when you're the first, because there's lots of challenges that you go through. And him being able to do that, and still doing other things and not letting negative influences affect him, while still giving out such positive influences to other people, is just amazing, because he was receiving so much hate on one end but giving out so much love. So I think that it's really important that people know that, you know, no matter like what struggles you go through, don't, you know, he never let that affect him and how he treated other people. Because if he were to treat others the way that he was treated, then he would just be, it would be a bad place. But he did the exactly opposite of that, and treated everyone how they wanted to be treated.